You can get the cards you need for today's Budget Magic deck and support the show from this episode's sponsor, Card Kingdom. Just follow the link in the description box down below.
Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. So this week, we are heading back to Standard for a deck that is just so much fun to play. This is Orzhov Blink for Standard, basically a Lumbering Battlement deck, looking to get a ton of value out of some sweet enter the battlefield creatures by blinking them with Lumbering Battlement, also just making a massive Lumbering Battlement to maybe just kill our opponent that way. So as you can see, 88 bucks of paper, 6 ticks on Magic Online. Also, while it's not listed on screen, on Magic Arena, pretty cheap as well. I think the main deck is 1 mythic and 11 rares or 10 rares, with a couple more rares in the sideboard. So cheap and budget friendly by arena standards as well. So a quick reminder before we break down Orzhov Blink for Standard. If you enjoy this deck and you enjoy Budget Magic in general, it would be amazing of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk some Orzhov Blink, starting with the reason this deck exists. Lumbering Battlement. So Lumbering Battlement, one of the most unique creatures from Ravnica Allegiance. 5 mana, you get a 4/5. However, it's got some weird upside. So it has vigilance. When it comes into play, you can exile any number of non-token creatures you control, and it gets +2/+2 for each card that is exiled with it. So let's say we cast this. We exile 3 of our own creatures. We're going to have a 10/11 vigilant Lumbering Battlement, which means either we just keep smashing our opponent again and again with this Lumbering Battlement, or our opponent has to kill it, and then if our opponent kills the Lumbering Battlement, we get back all the creatures from under it, and those creatures probably have some sweet enter the battlefield triggers to generate more value. So that's the main plan of the deck. We can also do cool tricks with multiple Lumbering Battlements, where the first one exiles a bunch of stuff, the second one exiles the first Lumbering Battlement to get back all that stuff, get a bunch of triggers. With 3 Lumbering Battlements, we go literal infinite, where we can just blink everything infinite number of time, with one battlement blinking another. That doesn't come up that often, but if it does come up, it's pretty sweet. So Lumbering Battlement, kind of the big payoff for this deck. So what are we exiling with Lumbering Battlement? And we start off in the 2-drop slot with some card advantage creatures. Duskly Zealot just draws us a card. Seeker Squire might draw us a card. It explores when it enters the battlefield. So these cards get us on the board early, generate some value, keep us churning through our deck, and then are great to exile with Lumbering Battlement because, like we were talking about, once Battlement dies or we flicker it or blink it or whatever, these creatures come back, draw us more cards, explore more times. Then we have our removal creatures. So Plague Crafter and Ravenous Chupacabra are one of the biggest reasons to play this deck. We play these cards, kill one of our opponent's things, then we can exile them with Lumbering Battlement. When Lumbering Battlement dies, they come back, kill our opponent's stuff an additional time. So kind of like the weirdest, slowest board wipe, where we just keep doing this over and over and over again. Plague Crafter, also some additional upside, is a way to kill our own Lumbering Battlement. So let's say we have a ton of sweet things under a Lumbering Battlement. We can just cast a Plague Crafter, sacrifice our own Lumbering Battlement, opponent has to sacrifice something, then we get back everything under the Lumbering Battlement to get all those enter the battlefield triggers again. Then we have basilica-bell Haunt, which is pretty sweet with Lumbering Battlement. Comes into play, forces our opponent to discard, also gains us 3 life, which is helpful against aggro. The body's good as well. And then it does it all again once Lumbering Battlement puts it back into play. Then we have a couple of creatures that don't directly work with our Lumbering Battlement plan, but are kind of necessary just to hold the deck together. Knight of Grace gives us a really good blocking 2-drop. It dodges a lot of early game removal, great against decks like Mono Red, where it just holds down the ground against basically everything. And then Midnight Reaper just gives us a little bit of card advantage against sweepers and removal heavy decks. Also works with our Plague Crafter, like sacrificing our own stuff. So while they're not the greatest creatures to be exiling with Lumbering Battlement, they just kind of hold down the fort and generate some value. Then we have kind of our reanimation package. Eldest Reborn Memorial to Folly. As our creatures are dying and we're sacrificing them to Plague Crafter, or we're sacrificing our Lumbering Battlement, our opponent kills it, these cards give us a way to get back our key pieces. Eldest Reborn also works as removal, gives us a way to do the Lumbering Battlement loop. If the first one dies, we get it back, exile this one that's on the battlefield, set everything up, exile everything, return everything, do all that fun stuff. Mortify gives us a bit of removal. Nice, inflexible, since it gets rid of enchantments against control as well. The Immortal Sun, just a one-of, but it shuts down Planeswalkers is its main purpose against decks like Golgari and Teferi decks, very beneficial there, and it just does a lot of other things as well. Draws us cards, makes our stuff cheaper, makes our creatures bigger, so it's good in multiple ways. As far as the mana base, apart from the Memorial to Folly, we get 8 Izzet dual lands, no Godless Shrine, playing Guild Gates instead to keep the budget friendly, and then some basic lands. As far as the sideboard, for aggro, we get a bunch of removal options. Cast down Moment of Craving for the early game. Plague Mare is becoming sneakily valuable out of the sideboard, with White Weenie becoming very popular. It's good against mono blue, it's good against mono red, also good against White Weenie, so there's a lot of matchups where Plague Mare is going to be a 2-for-1, a 3-for-1, if we're really lucky, a 4-for-1, so it's very powerful in certain matchups, works well with our Blink plan as well. Inspiring Cleric for some life gain. Then for control, we get Argo's Bloodfast for more card advantage, Kitesail Freebooter Drillbit to attack our opponent's hand, another Immortal Sun for Planeswalkers, and then Ixalan's Binding and Invoke the Divine give us some all-purpose removal, and that is Orzhov Blink for Standard, and that's our budget Magic deck for this week. So this is going to be fun. I love Enter the Battlefield triggers. I love getting extra value from them. Lumbering Battlement, in some ways, it's kind of like our really weird big Panharmonicon, since we can exile all of our stuff, get it back to reuse the Enter the Battlefield triggers. Plus, it just gets massive. Like, sometimes it just turns into the Abyss, and our opponent has to just chump block Battlement every turn again and again and again, because it's like 10 power and they can't take the hit. So we got good removal, we got sweet tricky creatures in a massive Lumbering Battlement, so I think this one's gonna be fun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the gameplay, and I will talk to you soon. Alright, budget magic time. We are playing some Orzhov Blink. Good God. Alright, well, that's a few more lands than we'd like, but I don't think we can ship this. I mean, we have a Seeker Squire. Hopefully we just don't draw any more lands. That would be ideal. So I'm for our opponent. Alright, well, play a land, play Seeker Squire. Go exploring. Yeah, we'll keep Dusk Legion Zealot. It's a good body to sack 2 Plaguecrafter at least. Alright, Woodland Cemetery. Llanowar Elves. Oh, play a Swamp. Let's just mortify Llanowar Elves. Get in with Seeker Squire. Little bit greedy, but it kind of feels like our opponent might be having mana trouble. Alright, Watery Grave. Passes. I'll play a Swamp. Go to combat. Attack. Dusk Legion Zealot. Draw a card. Seeker Squire. Go exploring. Alright, there's a land. Well, pass the turn. We have 2 removal spells in hand, which isn't bad. Lumbering Battlement would be pretty spicy here. Drown Catacombs. Alright, there's a Crosses. Opponent draws 1. I'll play a Swamp. Chupacabra. Get rid of the Crosses. Go attacking. Oh, what we would give to draw Lumbering Battlement. It would be so awesome on this board state. We even have a Plaguecrafter to sack it if we want to. Opponent. Thinking things over. Wild Growth Walker. Passes. Oh my god. Let's play it safe. Let's just Plaguecrafter. Sack Seeker Squire. Go to combat. Get in with everything. Isolated Chapel. Pass the turn. And now we're potentially set up for a huge Lumbering Battlement. Opponent hits a Forest. I think keeping our opponent off double green has probably been big this game. Fine Broker. Okay. The time has come. This might just be game. I don't know what our opponent can do about this. Opponent passes. So we will play Lumbering Battlement. We will exile the crew. It's big. Play Isolated Chapel. Pass the turn. What do you do about Lums? It is, at worst, the Abyss, where our opponent has to block it every turn. At best, it's going to die eventually, and then we are going to get back a board full of removal and card draw. Actually, I guess the real best is that we draw another Battlement. That's when things would get really crazy. Passes. Well, we draw nothing. Go to combat. Attack. Oh, they kill it. Okay. Well then, we will snag a land out of our deck. Draw a card, Seeker Squire, Plaguecrafter, Chupacabra. Chupacabra on Wild Growth Walker. Oh, we did it backwards. Okay. So we stacked our triggers slightly wrong here. Sacrifice Dusk Legion Zealot. We should have done it. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Play Immortal Sun. Play Isolated Chapel. Pass the turn. Hopefully we're still in okay shape. We needed to... I guess it doesn't really matter. Our opponent would know what Chupacabra was targeting and could automatically sack it, so I guess it doesn't really make a huge difference. Well, now we get to draw 2 cards a turn, which is nice. Opponent. Fine Finality. Crosses, Wild Growth Walker. Plays Wild Growth Walker. And Branch Walker. Well, the game continues. Alright, Vivian Reed's actually not good. Opponent. Read the Mortal Sun opponent. Maybe they have a removal spell for it. They could have another Assassin's Trophy. Although decks usually don't play too many Assassin's Trophies. Land. Chupacabra. Well, Chupacabra. Get rid of Wild Growth Walker. Go to combat. Get in with Plaguecrafter. Yeah, opponent trades. Play Guildgate. Pass the turn. Oh, come on, Vivian. Run that out there. No Assassin's Trophies. Vivian. Yes. Okay. Sorry to disappoint you, opponent.
Would you like to see what's left of
There is a lot of text on the Immortal Sun. And that is an oops. And that is a Plaguecrafter and a land. Well, interesting. Play Plaguecrafter. Sack. An opponent scoops it up. All right, that is White-Black Blink. The game would have continued, I guess, if our opponent had played Crosses instead, but we were still in pretty decent shape there. So against this deck, I think we want another Immortal Sun, a Cast Down, go down... Maybe we just got to go down the Dusk Legion Zealots. Let's run it like that. Well, that was a pretty good game for Orzhov Blink. The Lumbering Battlement did what Battlement's supposed to do. That is the plan. That is the plan. Opponent's on the play for game number 2. All right. We are on the draw, so hopefully we hit our land drops. This hand is powerful, but it does require us drawing some lands. We are a 24 land deck, so odds of drawing them shouldn't be too bad. Forest. Jade Light Ranger. Gonna go exploring. Ritual of Set. That's not actually very good against us. Opponent mills it. Hits a Hinterland Harbor. Yikes. Uh-oh. Well, now I'm starting to get a little worried. If we don't draw a land, things get pretty bad pretty fast. Hinterland Harbor. Oh, opponent. Okay. Sure. Wild Growth Walker. Land. Land. Ooh, and a Branch Walker. Opponent's going off. Jade Light. Land. Land. All right, that's a land. So, Isolated Chapel. Kill Wild Growth Walker. Pass the turn. One more land would still be good. To get to these Bellhawns and Chupacabras and eventually Lumbering Battlement. Our opponent's understanding of First Strike seems incomplete. Maybe they want their creatures in the graveyard. They're, I don't know. I don't know what kill they're... All right. Well, we'll take it. I don't know really what to say about that one other than sweet, I think. Okay. Well, way back Blink. All right. budget magic time. We are blinking our way through Standard. Orzhov Blink. Lumbering around, I guess you could say. Okay. I mean, this hand's not fast. We don't have any 2-drops, but the mana's fine, and it's fairly powerful. Ew. Control time? Playing for our opponent. Well, land go. Double Mortify. Oh. Dance. Alright, well, play a land, play a Midnight Reaper. Quench? Okay. I don't know what's happening. This might just be bank control. I don't know if that's good or bad for us. We did hit a land. Well, I guess we play the plains, play Knight of Grace. Pass the turn. This is going to be a slog. A slog, a slog, a slog. Field of Ruin. Teferi. Okay. Well, in a dream world, we resolve a Eldest Reborn and kill it, and then life is good. Alright, so we have to Plague Crafter. Hope for no second Quench, because we missed our land drop. Blink of an Eye on Teferi. I guess we just sacrifice Knight of Grace? It doesn't really matter. Ugh, this is not a great position. Opponent. Tap land, Teferi. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. How do we beat a Teferi? Opponent draws. Land. Land and no counters. Untaps. Oh god. It's a Guildgate. Guildgate is not good. That's very, very bad. I'll get in, hit Teferi. Run out of Chupacabra. Oh, they didn't have a counter either, but I think... now they're untapping with Teferi. This isn't good. This isn't good. Our budget mana came back to bite us. If that was a Godless Shrine, Teferi would be dead. Unfortunately, it was not. Opponent. Passing. Untapping. Well, go to combat. Attack Teferi. Opponent has Settle the Wreckage. Well, okay. We get a couple lands. Now this is about whether Eldest Reborn resolves. Eldest Reborn. Okay, Teferi down. Staying alive. Staying alive. Opponent is Kanta. That was good. That was very good. And now in theory we should be able to mortify this as Kanta. We're fighting. We're fighting and clawing. Opponent mills a Quench. A little bit worse after a settle. Plays a land. Passes. Opponent discards. Frilled Mystic. Well, pass the turn. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. Ooh, Angel of Grace. Alright, well. Mortify is Kanta. Angel of Grace resolves. Yeah. Mortify Angel of Grace. Kill it all! Kill it all, I say. And now we might be the one with the Teferi. Possibly. We'll see what happens. Opponent draws. Ops. Whew! The tides have turned! Passing. Well, Teferi, please. Thank you very much. Come to our side, Teferi. Come here. Teferi has arrived. Well, draw a card.
If you show remorse, I'll show.
Orzhov Guildgate. Well, that's Lumbering Battlement. Opponent counters. Yep. Play a Guildgate. Pass the turn. Untap. Untap. Opponent. 3 cards in hand. No Teferis on the battlefield. Opponent tried to kill their own Teferi. Yeah. Hits Teferi down to 2. Opponent passes. Well, draw with Teferi. It feels good to be the one with the Teferi in our budget deck.
We need to move quickly.
Thanks to our opponent. Ooh, Midnight Reaper. Oh, play a Plains. Play Chupacabra. Opponent counters. I'll play Midnight Reaper. And pass the turn. Untap. Untap. And yeah, we'll just pass. Was thinking about killing Frilled Mystic, but I think this is fine. Opponent. Combat. Attacks. Well, I kind of like having a Teferi. We will block. Trade off. Draw a card. Ooh, basilica-bell's not bad. Opponent passes. Well, take up Teferi, draw a card.
Let's skip to the
Drawing an extra card each turn, pretty powerful. Let's Bellhaunt. See if our opponent has a counter. They do not. Has to discard a land. And yeah, let's just pass the turn. Untap. And we're just grinding out back control at this point, it feels like. Angel of Grace. Alright, so that resolves. We untap 2 lands. But then before passing, we mortify Angel of Grace. Kill it. Kill it. And opponent's done! Done! They do not like being on the receiving end of the Teferi battle. That was good. That was very impressive. Especially considering most of our good control stuff is in the sideboard. We still managed to grind out our opponent in game 1, which is super, super key. So we are going to go down all 4 Knight of Graces. Go up Kite Sail Freebooter. Go up Drill Bits. Go down, I think, a couple of Chupacabras and a Basilica-bell Hunt for another Drill Bit, an Ixalan's Binding, and a Argul's Bloodfast. And we want this last Immortal Sun. The question is, how do we make it fit? How do we make it fit? Yeah, let's go down one more Bell Hunt for the Immortal Sun. And I think we just run it like that. We want to keep our removal because our opponent does have creatures. So we got to keep at least some Mortifies. Yeah, let's try it like that. That was a pretty impressive performance for our deck. Control is sketchy at game 1, but we got there. Ugh. Alright. Well, we got to ship this one. Not enough lands. This will keep Eldest Reborn bottom. This hand is okay. The drill bits are nice. The mana's rough. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, this is a lot of cards that we do want against control. Ooh. Untapped. Opponent getting frisky. Oh, Guildgate, go. We do need to draw lands for any of this to matter. Opponent opts. To the bottom. Yep. Untaps. Land. Oh, dear. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is where it gets a little bit frightening. If we don't draw lands, this is scary. Tap land. All right, there's a plane. So play the planes. The question is, what do we do now? I think we just... it's either Midnight Reaper or full price Drill Bit. Opponent can't Teferi next turn. All right, let's just Midnight Reaper. Opponent has a Quench. Midnight Reaper, if it resolved, potentially lets us double Drill Bit next turn, which would be sweet. But opponent plays a land. Passes. Well, Drill Bit our opponent. Chemister's Insight. Let's see what's in that. Whoa! All right. Opponent is on the all land plan, although Chemister's Insight does help them a bit. Huh! All the lands. Well, let's just Lumbering Battlement. Not a good Lumbering Battlement, but oh, they top deck Absorb. All right. Opponent draws a card. Land. Passes. Well, let's Seeker Squire. Go exploring. Hit a land. Play the land. Ugh, and the Chemister's Insight is in the graveyard. Yeah, I guess we just gotta pass. Pass the turn. There's the Chemister's Insight. Discards a land, draws a couple cards. So opponent's hand should be improving at least. Land for our opponent. Search for Escanta. Well, we are gonna have to kill that. Opponent passes. Well, go to combat. Get in with Seeker Squire. Opponent's thinking. Man, something like Immortal Sun would be sweet. Get in. Hit our opponent. Play a land. Drill bit our opponent. Opponent has Frilled Mystic. Well, alright, they counter the drill bit. We will mortify his Kanta. Pass the turn, hope for no Teferi. Land for our opponent. Gets it. Yep. Down to 17. Passes. Well, go to combat. Get him with Seeker Squire. Opponent's only got 2 unknowns in hand. Go attacking. They must have Angel of Grace. Alright, there's the Angel of Grace. This is actually pretty fine. So opponent gets rid of our Seeker Squire. Yup. But then we get to Chupacabra. Kill the Angel of Grace. Pass the turn. Hope for some card advantage. Opponent. Land. And 2 lands and 1 mystery card. Opponent. Attacks. Well, we are going to block. This means if they have a Teferi, Playcrafter gets to take it down. Mortify. 1, 2, 3, crack. Alright, so let's just Memorial to Folly. Get back Midnight Reaper. Play Midnight Reaper. Pass the turn. Anything that draws us cards is good here. Opponent untaps. Land. Passes. Oh, Immortal Sun. Well, go to combat. Attack. Opponent settles. I mean, we gotta go for it. We gotta go for it. If their last unknown card is a counter, it makes us very sad, but we gotta try it. Immortal Sun. Resolves. All right. That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. It's all worth it once the Immortal Sun hits the battlefield. Search for his Kanta. Yup. Opponent passes. We draw an extra card. Guildgate. And Mortify. Well, Mortify is Kanta. Not going to let that flip. Play a Guildgate. Teferi Shutdown. Pass the turn. Oh, things have taken a turn. Orzhov Blink. Things have turned in our favor with this Immortal Sun down. Opponent passes. Draw 2. Another Immortal Sun for the future. And opponent's done. They can't beat the Immortal Sun. And Orzhov Blink taking it to people. Taking it to them. Oh, this deck is working pretty well. It's pretty spicy, and it's working pretty well. Orzhov Blink. Yes, 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 yes. That was good. That was good. That was really good. Whew. All right. Not bad. Taking down the control decks. So, hey, all right. Budget Magic time. We are playing some 0 land mulligan in Standard. All right. This one, I guess we'll keep. White mana on top would be nice. Swamp. Well, I don't think we can say no to a land. A swamp is not ideal. We would really like a white source, but we need lands in a general sense as well. Guildgate for our opponent. Well, swamp, give. Lands. Give us lands. Opponent. Guildgate. Well, okay. White lands. That's what I meant, wizards. White lands, please. 4 is for our opponent. Gatebreaker Ram. I'll play a swamp. Plague Crafter. Get rid of the ram. Land. Land. A white source. Opponent finds an island. Gatebreaker Ram. Oh dear. Well, the magic gods have frowned upon us. And life is pretty bad. Guildgate grows the ram. Gets in for 5. Sure. We draw. Alright, there's a land. So, Isolated Chapel, Eldest Reborn. Get rid of the ram. Okay. It might not be too late. It might not be too late for that land drop. Vote it. Guildgate. Gate Colossus. Opponent's got a discard. What do we do here? I think we just need to pass. We need to pass, kill the Gate Colossus, and reanimate the Gate Colossus. Opponent. Attacks. Well, kill Gate Colossus. I guess if our opponent has a gate, they can put it back on their deck. All right, opponent has a process. And a land. Ugh. Gets it back. Well, I guess we're just taking Plague Crafter. Playing a swamp. Playing Immortal Sun. Passing the turn. These infinite gate colossuses are going to be an issue, though. Drawing extra cards is nice. Maybe it can get us out of it if we can just keep chaining together stuff. Ooh! Well, that's not ideal. Now we're going to need to draw a Mortify pretty quick. Card advantage is going to be an issue. Opponent, draw an extra cards. Sure, passes. We draw Plains and a Chupacabra. I'll play the Plains. Play Knight of Grace. Play Knight of Grace. Pass the turn. Our opponent's got to have about 1,000,000 Gates Ablaze somewhere. Opponent draws a card. There's one of the 1,000,000 Gates Blazes. And Gate Colossus. And that's another one. And a second Guild Summit. Well, all the cards will be drawn. There's no doubt about that. Opponent. Passing. Yeah, let's just draw. Land and... land. I'll play Isolated Chapel. Play Chupacabra. Kill Gate Colossus. What do we even do? I mean, I guess we can Lumbering Battlement. Exile Chupacabra. Opponent's drawn so many cards, though. I'm not sure if we can get out of this. Hitting a creature to go with this Lumbering Battlement would have been pretty sweet. Shimmer of possibility. Opponent's going digging. So I think our main game plan is to stall out long enough that our opponent might actually mill themselves out. So kill Gate Colossus. The problem is our opponent plays a gate, they just get back both Gate Colossuses. And this process, ooh, mountain, okay. Well, they must have Circuitous Route. Or they're just gonna go phase. Explosion, draws a bunch of cards. Swamp. Knight of Grace. Well, play Knight of Grace. Play a Swamp. Go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Another Gates Blaze. And it seems like a challenging matchup once our opponent gets going. Gatebreaker Wrap. Opponent passes. Well, plays a land. Okay. So here comes all the Gate Summits, except our opponent will not get them until next turn. Gate Colossus. Gate Colossus. Growth Spiral. Oh, so they're going to get them right now. Yeah, I don't know how we get out of this. Stomping Grounds untapped. Growth Spiral. Yeah, we're going to need to draw well to have a chance. Gate Colossus. And Gate Colossus. Well, sack Memorial. Get back Chupacabra. Sack Memorial. Get back Lumbering Battlement. Opponent passes. We draw land and Knight of Grace. Oh, play a Plains. Chupacabra. Kill the Ram. Knight of Grace. Lumbering Battlement. Exile, exile. Pass the turn, but we're going to 3. So a burn spell just closes out this game if they have another expansion explosion. So block a Colossus. Yeah, these recursive Colossuses are pretty brutal. Opponent. Banefire, I guess, is also brutal. Sure. Alright, well, 2 sideboarding. This might just not be a great matchup for what we're trying to do, honestly. We can bring in Drillbit, Ixalan's Binding, Invoke the Divine. Go down. What are we going down? Probably Seekers, probably got to go down. Actually, maybe we go down Knight of Grace. Knight of Grace doesn't do much. Go down Knight of Grace. Go down Bell Haunt. Bell Haunt. One Dusk Legion Zealot. Try it like that. Go a little bigger. We get more disruption, but ugh, I don't know if it's going to be anywhere near enough. We get to play first. Well, we'll keep this and cross our fingers we draw some lands. Land goo. Gate. Well, Seeker Squire might hit us a land, or at least get rid of a non-land. All right, there's a land. It's tapped, but it is a land. Tap land. Opponent passes. I'll play the Guild Gate. Go attack it. Hit our opponent. Tap land for our opponent. Well, play a swamp. Play Bell Haunt. Make our opponent discard. Get in with Seeker Squire. So I think what we actually want here is just another land to make a big battlement to get out from under potential Gates Ablaze action. Alright, opponent has a big crosses. Guild Gate. Well, we will Chupacabra. Kill crosses. Play the Guild Gate. Go attacking. This is actually a really huge turn. If our opponent can't Gates Ablaze here and we can battlement, then we're set up in really good shape. Plaza. Gains life. Opponent. Passing? Opponent passes. We'll go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent. Down to 12. Play Memorial. Lumbering Battlement. Exile the crew. Alright, opponent. Can you deal with it? This is where we want to be. Everything under a battlement. If our opponent kills it, we get back Chupacabra, Bell Haunt, and Seeker Squire. Gate Colossus. Opponent. And this is way too big for Gates Ablaze. This is too big for 2 Gates Ablaze. Gatebreaker Ram. Sure. Opponent. Passes. I think the safest play is just to Mortify. Oh. Well, maybe it's not the safest play. Well, alright, there goes Battlement for now. Kill Gatebreaker. Ugh. Maybe we should have just played Crafter. I mean, we'll keep Drill Bit, play the land. If our opponent has Gates Ablaze, though, it's so brutal. Ugh. Yeah. And they have it. Down to just a Bell Haunt. Opponent. Knight of Autumn. Puts the counters on it. Alright, so we untap. We draw Drill Bit. We Plague Crafter. Get rid of the Knight of Autumn. Go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent. Drill Bit our opponent. Take crosses. Pass the turn. Opponent's got nothing going on, but they have powerful cards they can draw. Cindervines, sure. And a Circuitous Root. Alright. Alright. Lands. Can get back a Gate Colossus for next turn, if they want. They decide yes. Alright. Opponent passes. Well, let's Seeker Squire. Go exploring. Get a land. Play the land. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent. 6. They get back Gate Colossus. They play Gate Colossus. Opponent's passing. Well, we crack our Memorial. Get back Chupacabra. We need to fade Gates Ablaze off the top for like a turn. Play Chupacabra. Kill Gate Colossus. Midnight Reaper is actually kind of a nice draw. Midnight Reaper gives us some protection from our opponent drawing a sweeper. I mean, getting our board Wrath is still not good, but at least we would draw 4. What do you got, opponent? I guess Angel is annoying too. And opponent scoops it up, and we got there. Tempoed him out. That was pretty good for our deck. That was very impressive. Very, very impressive. All right. Well, apparently we have a chance against the gate deck. Run it back. Let's do that one more time. Got to keep on the grind. Opponent. All right. Ooh, okay. Well, we cannot keep this hand. This hand we will keep. Hopefully we scry into a land. Well, Memorial to Folly is a land. Not our dream land, but it is a land. Memorial to Folly, go. I mean, this hand isn't horrible. We have answers to a lot of our opponent's things. Land. I'll play a plane, Seeker Squire. Go exploring. Graveyard Eldest Reborn. Lands, more important. Opponent. Forest. Gatebreaker Ram. Another Memorial's a little bit obnoxious. Mountain. Circuitous Route. Gotta grow that Ram. Well, this is gonna get interesting. Yep. Gets in. No blocks. Land. Land. Alright, that's a plains. This is good. So now we get to mortify the Ram. Step 1. Get in with Seeker Squire. Hit our opponent. Drill Bit with Spectacle. Thoughtseize mode. Take the Lava Coil. Opponent's got nothing. They got nothing. I mean, they have things they could draw that are good, but right now they have nothing. Opponent passes. We draw land. Well, we will Bell Haunt. Make our opponent discard. Are we going to get the win? Blink. Go attacking. Hit our opponent. Isolated Chapel. Pass the turn. Opponent. What do they find? Gatebreaker Ram. That's okay. We have Eldest Reborn in hand. Plays a land. So we Eldest Reborn. Get rid of Gatebreaker Ram. Play the Guild Gate. Go attacking. Opponent down to 11. Orzhov Blink. It might be happening. Opponent passes. Has to discard a land. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent down to 6. Battlement. Exile them both. Make it big. Play Memorial. All right, opponent. You got to draw it. You got to draw it. You got to draw something real good. Guild Summit. That gets redraws, but I don't think that's enough. Draw some cards. Die to Lumbering Battlement. Draws 1. Is the one the miracle card? It is not. We got the GGs. And that is Orzhov Blink. It felt so rough in game 1. It felt so rough, but actually worked pretty well. Pretty well. All right. That was sweet. All right. Budget Magic time. We are playing some Orzhov Blink in Standard. And this hand got a lot of exploration. That's something. Island. Oh boy. Mono blue. Oh, mono blue. Well, Seeker Squire. Graveyard Knight of Grace. Pass the turn. Come on, no Curious Obsessions. None of that. None of that. Island. Mistcloak Herald. Alright, no Curious Obsession yet. I'll play a Seeker Squire, go exploring. Play Guild Gate, go attacking. Hit our opponent down to 18. I mean, we do have a lot of removal, which is good. Oh, they drew the, alright. Well, they drew the Curious Obsession, so now we're in rough shape. Opponent draws a card. Plays a land. I'll play Isolated Chapel, go to combat, attack. Hit our opponent. Down to 50. Pass the turn. Trying to untap. We're going to have to try to Mortify. I don't have high hopes, but well, Mortify, Curious Obsession. Yeah, there's a Spell Pierce. Well, opponent gets to keep drawing. Down to 13. Yeah, these are the games where Mono Blue looks like the best deck in the format. When you stick a Curious Obsession early, it's pretty absurd. Well, we get to Seeker Squire. Go explore. Hit a land. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent takes it. Plague Crafter. Alright, resolves. Well, we'll sack Seeker Squire. Alright. I guess our opponent's not worried as long as they still have Curious Obsession going. And they probably shouldn't be. Opponent gets in. Down to 10. Yep. Draws a card. And Temptation. Yeah, we draw land. Yeah, we're just... Well, play Immortal Sun. But I believe we're dead. Yeah, there's the counter. And we've been Curious Obsession. That is how Curious Obsession does it. Oh boy. All right, so Cast Down in, Moment of Craving in, Plague Mares in, and maybe Drill Bits if we can find room in Freebooter. Go down Night of Grace in this matchup. Go down probably the Midnight Reapers. Go down Immortal Sun, a Bell Haunt, and yeah, let's go one Lumbering Battlement. Try it like that. Just bring in any cheap interaction we can muster. All right, so we are on the play, which is good. Yup. And this is a good hand, but it doesn't interact with the mono blue nut draw. We're going to keep it. If they have their combo, they have their combo. There's not a whole lot we can do. I don't think we can throw back a functional hand in hopes of hitting a better hand. I'll play a land, Seeker Squire. We would like to explore into a white source. Graveyard, Dusk Legion Zealot. I mean, any land is helpful, but especially a white source to get to these Bell Haunts would be really good. Opponent opts to the top. Ugh. Never want to see someone opt to the top. You're always rooting bottom. Island, Terramander. We draw not a land. Well, go to combat. Attack. Drill Bit's not the worst. We still really need land so we can cast our hand, though. Drill Bit our opponent. Well, we're down with getting his Spell Pierce for free. Opponent has a million counters, a Chart of Course, a Dive Down. Well, I think we just take Chart of Course and hope that our opponent doesn't draw lands to cast their stuff. And hope like crazy that we draw lands. Opponent gets in. Passes. Well, Seeker Squire. Go exploring. Land. We really need a land. Ugh. Graveyard the Cast Down. It doesn't actually work here because of our opponent's endless dive downs and counters. Opponent hits a land, so their counters are on. Gets in. We draw. Ugh. The slowest land. Well, get in with a Seeker Squire. Opponent takes it to 16. Well, next turn as we wait for a white source, we can start just casting things into counters. If our opponent ever draws Curious Obsession, things go really bad really quick. Gets in, down to 17. Passes. Well, there's a white source, so play the land, and let's go to combat. Attack. I guess we're actually racing in a weird way. Opponent blocks. Wow, just trades. Huh. Well, let's Bell Haunt. Opponent counters. Opponent untaps. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they can't actually grow their Terramander. Opponent gets in, hits us. Down to 16. Tempest Shin. Well, we get to Eldest Reborn. Kill something. This gets around the dive down at least. All right, let's the Terramander go. No attacks. Well, now we got to get through this Tempest Shin. Opponent up. Dive down Wizard's Retort in hand. We will be getting something back from our graveyard at some point. Or from their graveyard. Opponent gets in, hits us. Down to 12. And passes. Opponent's got a discard. Storm Tamer. Well, play the land. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent has a Trickster. Dive down Wizard's Retort in hand. Well, no attacks. Yeah, no attacks. Chupacabra. Go after Tempest Shin. Opponent counters. Or dive down. That's fine, though, because now... they draw the Curious Obsession. And they have Wizard's Retort in hand. Draws a card. Okay. Down to 7. Land. We draw Plains. So I think we just take Bell Haunt. Make our opponent discard Wizard's Retort. Mortify Tempest Shin. Go to combat. All-out attack. And I think the tide is turned. Our Eldest Reborn coming through. Play the Blades. Bell Haunt number 2. And all right, opponent. How do you get out of this? Mono Blue doesn't do as well when it... Oh, that's spicy. Go to combat. Attack. Mono Blue doesn't do as well when it gets behind. And we got the GGs. Whew! All right. We snuck it out. There was no early Curious Obsession. Well, we gotta do that one more time. Oh, all right. Yeah, keep it the same. Run it back. Hope our opponent doesn't have it. I think this is one of the hardest matchups in Standard. The Curious Obsession is so good once I get it going. All right, we're on the draw. That's a lot of tap lands. Yeah, we're gonna keep. I'm a little worried that we have all tap lands. But this hand has a lot of cards we want. Land for our opponent. Ms. Cloak Herald. Oh, Guildgate go. Do they have the combo? Come on. No Curious. All right, no Curious Obsession yet. Opponent gets in. Passes. Ooh. We draw a Swamp. Seeker Squire. Go exploring. Let's Graveyard Lumbering Battlement for now. Opponent opts. Well, that was a big draw, because now our lands come into play untapped, except for Memorial to Folly. Opponent getting in. Yup. Down to 18. Oh. Well, this is why we have Plague Mariner sideboard. This is exactly it. See you later, 2-for-1. Get in with Seeker Squire, and nice to know you, Mono Blue. That was a good one. That was a good one. Terramander, sure. Well, let's just Isolated Chapel Chupacabra, force our advantage, and the 2-for-1s and 3-for-1s are adding up. They're adding up. The 3-for-1 with Plague Bear, 2-for-1 with Chupacabra, and this is where Mono Blue does not look as good. And we got the GGs. Opponent probably should not have kept the 1-lander. Play this. Yeah, let's just kill Terramander. Keep attacking. Mono Blue does not do well if it falls behind. It is not a catch-up deck. It's a get-out-ahead tempo deck. Opponent, Terramander. Oh yeah, let's just Plaguecrafter. We're just not going to let them stick a creature. Sack Plaguecrafter. Go to combat. Attack. Play the Swamp. Pass the turn. And that does it. That does it. Opponent kept 1 lands, a million 1-drop. And it just wasn't meant to be. Plaguecrafter number 2 for the rub-ins, and I mean, our opponent had 1 land, but that was about as dominating of a performance as you could have. Opponent having 1 land certainly helped, but our cards line up pretty well. Pretty well. Not bad, not bad. Whew. All right, White-Black Blink, Orzhov Blink, sweet. All right, budget magic time. We are playing some Orzhov Blink in Standard. Lumbering Battlements and Friends. Okay. Well, I mean, this is fine. Hopefully we hit lands. If we don't hit lands, this is a little rough, but if we hit lands, it's decent. Breeding Pool. Well, Dusklegion Zealot, if we're not going to draw land, is reasonable at least. Ooh, treasure map. Uh-oh. Well, tap lands. Tap lands, tap lands. Bone it. Hinterland Harbor. Well, that's Dusklegion Zealot. Draw land, hopefully. Land, please? No. Oh, dear. Well. Okay. Sure. Well. Okay. Not looking good. Not even a little. Yeah. There goes Lumbering Battlement. Well, without lands, this is going to be extra challenging. Island for... Oh, God. Oh, dear. Dear Lord. Well, there's a land. Turn too late, but it is a land. Get in for 1. Play a Blades. Play a Seeker Squire. Go exploring. Well, I guess we probably weren't going to beat Turbo Fog anyway. Graveyard the Bell Haunt. Still looking for lands. I mean, we do get some stuff after sideboarding that might help this matchup. But right now, this game's looking super grim. Opponent can flip treasure map, start drawing cards. Yeah, they're already to Nexus of Fate Infinite if they want to be. They're a little light on card draw, but they have the mana. So, I mean, it could just be game. Opponent pass. Huh. We are making this drawing a land thing look really challenging. Seeker Squire. All right, it is a land, a Guildgate. Opponent draws a card. Yup. Well, we go attacking. Clock does not seem fast enough to raise Turbo Fog, though. Opponent down to 14. There's the Teferi.
Keep up the
Draws, untaps, plays a land. Alright, opponent passes. Well, play a Swamp. I think we just play Plague Crafter. Oh, there's a counter. Well, go to combat. Everything at Teferi. Not enough to kill Teferi, though. Yeah, opponent, they just take it. They don't really care. Play Knight of Grace. Another Absorb. Well, I mean, we basically got to hope that our opponent gets to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. So they're going to go back up to 7 cards in hand, essentially. We got to just hope that they are all blanks. If they're all blanks and no nexuses or any other thing relevant to the game, and we get to kill Teferi and we draw Mortify, that might give us the start of a chance to do something. Opponent's also back at 20. Huh. Well, this is a hard matchup in game 1 especially, and oh boy. Craw, sure. And we didn't really draw lands early in the game. If our opponent has a Nexus, we are going to concede. No Nexus, well, run a Chupacabra into some counters. There's a Quench. We do not have lands to pay. Well, I mean, everything at Teferi. I think this is a lost cause, though. Go attacking. We're just so incredibly far behind here. Opponent. Treasure draws. Grow Spiral draws. Land. Opponent blocks. Grow Spiral. Land. Well,
time will tell.
Teferi's down. We did it. We didn't really do it though. Yeah, we're pretty buried. Process. All right. Good enough. Go to sideboarding. See if we can bring in some stuff to disrupt what our opponent's doing. So we get another Immortal Sun. We get 4 Drill Bits. We get a Freebooter. We get an Ixalan's Binding. And probably Invoke the Divine. We will go down Knight of Grace. We will go down Chupacabras. And we will go down one well, let's keep the Lumbering Battlements. Actually, against Fogs, they're a little sketchy. Let's run it like this. Go down 1 Battlement. I think it was either Battlement or Bellhaunt. Bellhaunt at least makes our opponent discard a card. The risk is in this matchup, because of Fogs, we risk trapping all of our stuff under a Lumbering Battlement. In a normal matchup, our opponent either dies to Battlement or gives us our stuff back. Against Fogs, they can just choose neither. They can choose to stay alive with Fogs and keep our stuff trapped under Battlement. But we get to play first. Alright, ship it. Well, okay. We'll keep Seeker Squire, I think, to the bottom. Just a random 2-drop, even with Explore, not that appealing here. So main game plan is getting down this Immortal Sun. Secondarily, drawing as many Drill Bits as possible. Well, play a land, Dusk Legion Zealot. Mortify is not bad. It does kill Wilderness Reclamation. There's a Lumbering Battlement. Opponent. Tap lands. Well, play Isolated Chapel. Go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent. Drill Bit. Thoughtseize mode. Crosses, double Angel of Grace to Fairy. And the lands to cast everything. Huh. Yeah, we took out a lot of our removal. This is a bit different than I was thinking. This is, Well, I guess we take Teferi. Pass the turn. Tap land. Opponent passes. Well, go to combat. Get in. Hit our opponent. Play Dusk Legion Zealot. Draw a card. Play a Plains. Pass the turn. We do need lands. We would like to keep curving out. Opponent. Alright, runs out a Sad Crosses. Draws a card. Well, let's just Bellhaunt. Make our opponent discard. That would have been a good turn for a land. Opponent discards a land, no attacks. Land for our opponent. And passes. A Playseeker Squire. Go exploring. Land! Land! Graveyard Mortify. No attacks. Oh boy. Well, not hitting lands is going to make this close to impossible. There's an Angel of Grace. Opponent draws a card. Opponent gets in for a bunch. Yeah, we are probably just going to die to Angels. There's a land, little late. I'll go to combat, attack. There's Angel of Grace. Yup. Ugh. Yeah. That one missed land drop is going to be pretty devastating. Opponent eats our Bell Haunt. Yeah, we're just dead. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think we're just dead, though. Immortal Sun. Yeah, we're actually just literally dead. Immortal Sun kills Crossus. We take 10. We take 10. Well, that was a rough one. If we had drawn the land a turn earlier, we might have had a shot, but unfortunately we didn't. So what do we learn this week about Orzhov Blink in Standard? And the deck actually functioned pretty well. We played 5 matches, we won 4 of them, with our one loss being to Turbofog. Turbofog, Turbofog, Turbofog. And Turbofog, I don't think it's an unwinnable matchup. Playcrafter is good. Mortify is good. The Mortal Sun is good. I guess Eldest Reborn is good. But even after sideboarding with all of our drill bits and stuff, it is a challenging matchup. If we don't draw the right pieces for that matchup, we are, beneath everything else, a deck that's looking to win by beating down with creatures. And Turbofog is built to stop those decks from doing their thing. So it is a tricky matchup, but we kind of redeemed ourselves by taking down Bank Control, which isn't a Nexus deck, but was similar in the sense you got Teferis and those big payoffs. We also beat Sultai mid-range, although our opponent didn't really know how First Strike worked or something. That was a little bit awkward with the way our opponent played that one. We took down Mono Blue, so the deck functioned pretty well. It ran pretty well, and it's super fun to play. You get all this tricky value. It is not a deck that most of the time is just going to overpower the opponent. Instead, we're looking to piece together this incidental value and the sacrifices and the Chupacabras and the Explorers and the random card draw and eventually grind out the win. So if you like those slow, grindy type of decks, this one seems pretty reasonable, especially for the budget, especially on Arena or on Magic Online, where it is super, super cheap on either digital client. So if you're looking for something different, something fun, if you like Lumbering Battlement, you like Panharmonicon-esque Enter the Battlefield trigger decks, it seems like a pretty reasonable option. As far as changes I'd make to the deck, I'm actually pretty happy with this as far as the budget version. Of course, Godless Shrine should be in the deck for the optimal build, but I don't think I would change the main deck a whole lot, even if budget wasn't a concern. And the sideboard's fine. We got some good value out of Drill Bit in the control matchups. Plague Mare pretty much won us a game against Mono Blue, where it was just absurdly powerful. I think Plague Mare, pretty underrated right now. I feel like it's actually a really good card in Standard. Not necessarily in the main deck, because it is really bad in some matchups. It does nothing against control. It's got a small body, but against the aggro decks, it is so good. So overall, Orzhov Blink was pretty sweet and a ton of fun. So if you're looking for something different, you like that tricky value, you could do worse on Magic Online or Magic Arena, and it's fine for paper as well. $88 isn't a bad price. So anyway, that's been our budget magic for this week. Orzhov Blink for Standard. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.